Before humanity ever sinned, there was war, not on earth, in heaven. A rebellion led by a radiant being, a confrontation with a warrior archangel, and a battle that changed eternity. Tonight, we uncover the war in heaven. Before there was a serpent in Eden. Before there was temptation. Before there was sin in humanity. There was rebellion in heaven. The Bible gives us fragments, not a full cinematic script, but enough to understand that something catastrophic happened in the unseen realm. Revelation chapter 12 describes it in powerful imagery. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought back with his angels. War. Not disagreement, not tension. War. This was not chaos breaking out beyond God's awareness. It was rebellion allowed to reveal itself. But to understand this war, we must begin with Lucifer. Isaiah describes him poetically as morning star, shining, elevated, radiant. Ezekiel describes him as adorned with precious stones, present in Eden, a guardian cherub. He was near the throne. He had access to glory. He was not weak. He was not insignificant. He was powerful. But pride entered his heart. Isaiah records his internal declaration. I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt his throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of assembly. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. 5 I will statements. Rebellion begins with self-exaltation. Lucifer desired position without submission. He desired authority without obedience. He desired worship without worthiness. And he was not alone. Revelation symbolically describes a dragon sweeping a third of the stars from heaven. These stars are understood by many theologians to represent angels. Lucifer persuaded others. This was not emotional chaos. It was organized rebellion. A third of heaven's angels aligned with him. This tells us something profound. Angels have will. They are not robotic. They chose. And when they chose pride, war began. Now enter Michael. Michael's name means, who is like God. It is the perfect counter to Lucifer's pride. Lucifer sighed, I will be like the Most High. Michael's name declares, who is like God? No one. Michael is described as a chief prince, a commander, a protector. When war breaks out in Revelation, it says, Michael and his angels fought. This implies rank. Michael commands. Lucifer commands. Lucifer commands. This is not random fighting. It is organized conflict between two hierarchies. But here is the key. The war is not equal. Lucifer is powerful, but he is created. Michael is powerful, but he is submitted. And above both is the throne. Revelation says, the dragon was not strong enough. Not strong enough. The rebellion could not overpower divine order. Lucifer and his angels were cast out of heaven. They lost their place. Satan is thrown down to earth. This is a decisive moment. Access to heaven is removed. The accuser is displaced. But notice something critical. Michael fights, but the authority behind the victory belongs to God. Satan is cast down because heaven decrees it. Michael executes the command. Now what does this war reveal? First, heaven is structured. There are ranks among angels. Michael leads, others follow. Second, rebellion was organized. Lucifer did not act alone. There is hierarchy in darkness. Third, God's sovereignty was never threatened. The war was real, but the throne was never at risk. Now here is something deeply important. Some people imagine the war in heaven as an epic struggle where God barely wins. That is not biblical. Lucifer is not God's equal opposite. He is not eternal. He is not omnipotent. He is not omniscient. He is not omnipresent. He is a created being who fell. The war in heaven was not about God struggling. It was about rebellion being exposed. And when it was exposed, it was expelled. Now let's talk about the aftermath. When Satan is cast down, Revelation says, "Woe to the earth and the sea, because the devil has gone down to you, filled with fury, because he knows his time is short." Satan's defeat in heaven fuels his aggression on earth. His war shifts location. Unable to overthrow the throne, he targets humanity. Eden becomes the next battlefield. Temptation becomes his weapon. Deception becomes his strategy. But even there, limits exist. From the moment of the fall, God declares that the seed of the woman will crush the serpent's head. The war in heaven echoes into the cross. At Calvary, another battle occurs. Colossians tells us that through the cross, Christ disarmed principalities and powers. The spiritual defeat becomes public. The rebellion that began in heaven meets its ultimate defeat through sacrifice. And the final chapter is still coming. Revelation describes a future where Satan is bound, then released briefly, then finally cast into the lake of fire. The war that began in heaven ends in judgment. Michael fights at the beginning. God concludes it at the end. Now here is the truth that matters. The war in heaven reveals that rebellion cannot coexist with holiness. It reveals that pride cannot dethrone sovereignty. It reveals that structure remains intact. Michael stands as a symbol of loyal authority. Lucifer stands as a warning of corrupted ambition. The throne remains untouched. And perhaps the most powerful truth of all, the war was not about power. It was about position. Lucifer wanted the throne. Michael defended it. But the throne was never vulnerable, because it belongs to the Eternal One. Before rebellion, during rebellion, after rebellion, the throne remains, and the war in heaven reminds us. Darkness may rise, but it does not reign.